All right, everyone, welcome back to Punk Rock Radar. Today, we're sitting down with the guys from Left-Handed Knives who took season 1 of Blind Band Reviews. So sit back and hold tight, and let's get to know them. All right, John, the moment you've been waiting for. I know you wanted to do this for a while. Our first interview with the winners of season 1 of Blind Band Reviews, Left-Handed Knives. So, John, here we are, man.
I'm stoked. I've been talking to you guys for a while on Instagram now. We've gotten to know each other. Left-Handed Knives, super cool band. Took the contest by storm. Over 600 votes in the championship. I think they won by over 100. They were front runners the whole way. You and I both.
I think it was more. It was definitely more than 100. I'm gonna say, dude. Yeah, yeah. It was a pretty big lead you guys had. It was crazy.
Yeah, we're all broke now because we had to go pay off all those votes. So,
so you guys are here. You won season 1, and everyone wants to know a little information. I guess like a brief history of the band. How did you become Left-Handed Knives?
TC and I work right across the hall from each other. We're both history teachers at the high school here, and we both were playing punk music in our classroom. And it was kind of like, hey, you like this, I like this. Here's some old stuff that I've done. Here's some old stuff that we've done. And then so it was just, figured out who the group of people are going to be. We got Wayne and then our bassist Zoe, who's not here with us, and came together about 2 years ago. And the rest is history, really.
That's pretty cool.
It was really one of those moments where Tyler was the new teacher, and I was like, who is that playing punk rock music? It's like my radar went off, my punk rock radar went off. And I like migrated over there. It's like, hey, dude, this is badass. This is awesome. And he's like, yeah, check this stuff out. I wrote this stuff back when I was in high school. I was like, no way. I had some stuff like that from when I was in high school, too. We should play music together. And so we've all been in bands for many years, different varieties. Wayne and I, for example, have been in several bands together, all the way from South Texas country bands.
Yeah, we were a country band last. Yeah.
Were you really? I love country. That's like one of my big things that John always rips on me, but I love country. I'm getting more into country. So that is awesome to hear.
It is. It's hard to get away from it when you live in South Texas. So it kind of grows on you, even if you don't grow up with it the way that I didn't grow up with it anyway. But it kind of grows on you a little bit after a while. But yeah, we were doing that for a while. We did reggae rock. And then we had another good friend of ours, and it just all worked out because our first music love was punk rock. And so this is most certainly a passion project for all four of us in the group.
Nice. So what kind of punk rock were you playing for the high school kids? I'm curious. Is it like old school stuff, new stuff?
Start at 1970 and just go forward. That's everything, man. And then surprisingly, a lot of them really dig it too. With the resurgence it's having a little bit now, it's you see like some lights go off in their eyes about like, oh, what is this? And that's a cool experience.
Yeah, I know when we were doing high school punk rock, it wasn't, playing this kind of 90s style that we're referring to this group as. It was like contemporary. It just happened to be the late 90s and the early 2000s. So that's the time. It was the current Epitaph, Fat Records type stuff,
Yeah. So do the students know that you guys are in a band?
Oh, most definitely.
Okay. That's awesome, then. That's awesome.
All right.
Yeah, we have a couple of all ages venues on our little circuit down here, and they frequently come out and support. When we we take them all stickers and stuff to school, so they love it. It's pretty cool.
And they get extra credit too.
So. Oh yeah. Now we can't watch this.
That's rad. So guys, I want to get the big question now out of the way. The band name Left-Handed Knives, we've had ever since I put that poll up this morning. That's pretty much every other question I'm getting. Where did the band name Left-Handed Knives come from? Can you shine a little light on that for us?
Yeah. Well, let us ask you a question first. Did anybody put forth a theory? Did anybody put forward any ideas?
This guy right here.
So my idea, like when we first heard your music, we loved it when it was on Blind Band Reviews. And me and John were talking, and I said, well, maybe there's someone in the band who's left-handed and couldn't find a left-handed knife. And then I think in the video, I talked about a company that makes left-handed knives, Rada. I think it's called Rada Cutlery. And they make left-handed knives for left-handed people. And that was my theory, that someone's left-handed and they needed a cooking knife to use. And they couldn't find one.
Well, first off, nobody's left-handed in the band,
Yeah.
so
There goes that, John.
There goes that.
So actually, here we have done many of our official band business meetings, if you will, at the local pizzeria that you so graciously have bought us now a pizza from, B&J's Brew Pub, and they also brew their own beers. So they came out with a particularly tasty IPA one time. It was called Left-Handed Knives IPA. And so we're sitting down drinking more than a couple of these, more than a couple of times. And eventually we're like,
Still drinking.
yes, we're like, this might be a cool band name. Now, they have a story behind where their name comes from, though. So I don't know if you want us to get into that.
Go for it if you know it.
If you know it.
It's a
So we
badass
all-
name.
So like in the serving world, and I've heard this too, even at restaurants that I worked at, like you get the new hire, he comes in, he's real green about the whole experience, and you're like, a cook will tell him, hey man, would you mind running to the back and grab one of the left-handed knives? And they're like, yeah, sure. And so they run to the back and they're looking at the knives and they're like, well, which one is left-handed? Because they're all the same essentially. So it's really kind of a play on like absurdity, really more than anything. And that's the beer and the meaning kind of drew us to it.
See, that was my argument with Matt. He was telling me about left-handed knives, and I'm like, dude, that sounds ridiculous. Like knives, like you hold, like anybody could hold a knife. It's got a sharp edge. Like why would it need to be in a different hand? But he was sold on the fact that there's this company and one of you guys needed this knife for some reason. But that's funny.
Yeah, that's good. I like that story. That's a great name too. Everyone loves that name. I feel like it's so it's catchy. It puts you guys right out there. Everyone's like, oh, left-handed knives. Let me check out these guys. So it's definitely a great name that you have for the band. I think all the fans love it. So I guess going into our next question that we got is, what is your biggest influence? I guess like what music helps you to become, left-handed knives and that style that you have right now?
Well, Tyler is our primary songwriter, so you should definitely take this one.
I mean, it's a collaboration, but yeah, I mean, a lot of times I start with the kernel and then we take it from there. So like I've always been into like the SoCal 90s, like skate punk. And then of course there's like your Green Days and all of the people like on Lookout Records and Epitaph and, Rancid and just all of the bands that everybody on everybody's top 10 list really. Bad Religion was always a big influence of mine as well. Pennywise, The Offspring. I mean, you name it. There's probably not going to be a band from that era that I'm going to say I, don't draw some inspiration from or don't like. So yeah, really, it's just kind of the golden age, in my opinion, of punk rock that really inspires me to try to do my 2022 spin on it.
Yeah, and I think you guys actually made a comment on one of the episodes saying that. You kind of felt like we were of that late 90s, California punk rock vein. And that's all the stuff we all grew up on. I mean, we all like to hang out at the beach and surf and whatnot. So back then that was the music on all the surf movies and stuff. And so, it's coming from a place of nostalgia and, and great memories for all of us.
That's awesome. Those are all the bands like I grew up with too, like the Fat Epitaph style, and then you said Green Day, Offspring. Those are like the first cassettes I ever purchased. So yeah, I think that's why like Matt and I both vibe with the music like right away, because I could tell we're all coming from the same place. But of course, we've got nowhere to surf around here, but it's still like the vibe of the music is just something that people gravitate towards, and I think you guys really nailed that style. That's why Matt and I we're such huge fans of the band. I even said before, like I posted the album before I had seen you guys on Blind Band Reviews. Somebody recommended it to me. I forget which band I was talking about. And they go, oh, check out Left-Handed Knives. I know you guys have like 600 something fans who are, vouch for you at least. So one of them reached out to me early on. But now I kind of want to get into this compilation that you guys are doing, like Rock Against Putin. What was the inspiration behind it, and what do you have planned going forward for this?
Yes. Rock Against Putin. So like the original inspiration, I mean, of course there's the world events that are coming that are happening now. But like maybe y'all remember as well, but there was in like the early 2000s the Rock Against Bush Fat Record albums that were compilations that were serving a similar but different purpose. we're history teachers, and we were trying to we see what's going on. And we wanted to do, what can we do? With this
Music. That's what
music. Yes, that's what we did. What can we do? The thing that we do. So we got bands together very quickly, actually, which was awesome. Within days, we had everyone respond back to us and wanted to be a part of this.
Yeah, we basically just came up with the idea. We were at school one day, and I think it was third period, and I was like, Tyler, man, we should put together this compilation. I was like, that's a great idea, man. And I was like, I'm thinking about just local bands. And I kid you not, by the end of that school day, Tyler was like, I reached out to 9 other bands, and we have 7 of them already confirmed. And then within 2 days, we had almost all the tracks already submitted and ready to go. So Tyler put together this great artwork based on the Rock Against Bush stuff. You may notice some similarities between it and the Rock Against Bush motif. And from there, it was just everything snowballed, and then we decided we wanted to do a festival featuring all the bands, and so we're going to have a big release festival, and that's just how it went. So yeah, I mean, the compilation sounds awesome. It's available for pre-order already on our website. Tickets to the concert are available on our website, and all the information about what we're trying to do, what charities we're supporting, and all the bands that are involved can be found at lefthandedknives.com.
Yeah, so even if you are not someone who can actually go to the show, if you want to still buy a ticket to the event, I mean, that still helps our donation pool of what we can do and what we're trying to accomplish as well.
Yeah, and we are actually working, and I think we're going to be able to pull it off to do a live stream of the entire thing. So,
that's going to be great. Yeah,
and I'll put a link to the pre-order and the festival in the description of this video. And if you guys do live stream it, I'll add that as well. And of course, I'll shout it out when I can. That sounds awesome. I'm definitely going to grab a copy of the pre-order personally. So guys, if you are into that, I mean, it's such a super cool message. Make sure and support these guys. Grab a copy, buy a ticket to the festival, get that donation pool up.
Yes, and the charity that we have opted to benefit is called United Help Ukraine. So if you want to check out the company that we're actually supporting, and we made it an extensive investigation to look into a whole bunch of these different charities, and we ended up on United Help Ukraine for many different reasons, but they seem to be the ones channeling the most money directly to their causes instead of putting it into their administration. So that was one of the big ones for us, and things that they're supporting are refugee funds, medical supplies, education about what's happening. So a lot of good things that organization is doing.
Yeah, that's a great thing you guys are doing. I'm definitely gonna pre-purchase that album, and I'll definitely buy a ticket. Even though I'm in New York, I'll definitely support you guys, and I'll buy a ticket. I know John will too.
Right.
If Punk Rock Radar wanted to fly down and make a cameo, we could certainly get you up there on stage with a microphone.
Oh, that would be great. That would be great. Maybe one day we're gonna come down. I know John. John used to live in Texas. John used to be down in Texas.
Yeah, I was in Austin for 3 years, and I still fly down to Dallas once a month for work. But unfortunately, again, nowhere near the beach, nowhere near Corpus Christi. Otherwise, for sure, I'd be there in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
We go to Austin, we go to Dallas as well. So maybe we can connect.
Yeah,
that would be pretty sweet. That would be. So another question we got was, people want to know any new music we can look forward to, any new music in the future, anything you're working on now that you can, let us know what kind of style you're going to go for, the same kind of, 90s skate punk kind of style, or are you going to change things up, or what's in store for Left-Handed Knives?
Our tentative plan, and I'll lead this off, and you guys can fill in the gaps. But our tentative plan is to release an EP in the same time frame that we did last year, and it's going to be 6 songs probably. It's going to be very similar to the first one, but it's going to be, instead of red on the album, it's going to be black and white, and so it's going to be the Black EP.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah. So this single that we're releasing with the Punk Against Putin that you guys put on the final show kind of takes you a little bit in the direction that the new material is the pipeline that is coming down. So it's going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, it's got a little more edge to it, a little bit more, a little bit more aggression. Yeah, look for kind of similar styles to what we had going on, and kind of just more development. I'd say that.
Nice.
Yeah, we have we have those 6 songs that are already out, and then the one that's going to come out with this EP. But we have like a pool of probably like 20 we're sitting on, and we we were like, we want to play punk music, whatever that means. We're not trying to pigeonhole ourselves into any specific genre. Some songs are super fast and real skate punk. Some songs are slower and poppier that we have kind of ready to go and trying to figure out how we release these as kind of motifs on these different EPs that we have planned.
Yeah, that's great to hear. That's great to hear. I like when bands, they don't want to kind of pigeonhole themselves into one kind of style of punk, that they're open to do all different types of punk style, which is great to hear. That's refreshing to hear.
Yeah, and the new song that you guys referenced that we played, I think that was my favorite track throughout all of Blind Band Review Season 1. I got like I don't know if you guys are familiar, Vision, Watching the World Burn, that LP that came out on Epitaph. The speed and the aggression, but also like the melodic nature of it, like really reminded me of that album, which is one of my favorites. So I'm definitely looking forward to this EP. So, keep us in the loop. I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, definitely.
So now, guys, the serious part is out of the way for now. We want to get into some rapid fire questions, just questions that Matt and I thought of, to be fun to get to know you guys a little better. And I'm gonna start us off with, what is your favorite fast food restaurant? I know you guys have a lot of options there in Texas. One of my favorite things to do when I'm in Texas is eat. So let me hear, favorite fast food restaurant.
Well, we are home to Whataburger, Corpus Christi, Texas, is where we're at. So they're not only like home to Whataburger. Whataburger's got this like kind of, I don't know how to describe it, but just kind of a hold on Corpus Christi. And they have this like 2-story Whataburger where they'll come downtown and they'll serve you at your table. Like, so there's a Whataburger experience here to be had in Corpus that's local. That's probably going to be pretty unique. That I think if we're going to be talking about that, I think we're kind of obligated to say. But other fast food places, that's, I don't know, I guess
Whataburger's probably, when you're driving home from the bar at night and you need some like breakfast, that's the place to go.
Yeah, for us, that's going to be White Castle. I don't know if you know about White Castle, but White Castle for us in New York, that's the best drunk food right there. So I think another question we had is, you're all stranded on a desert island. You have a CD player and you can only bring 3 CDs with you. What are they going to be?
Well, this is going to maybe surprise you all a little bit, but I would probably take Random Access Memories from Daft Punk.
Okay, I'm feeling that.
A little bit of Daft Punk kick right now.
So what do you do? 2 more? Let's each do 3.
Yeah.
Each do 3.
A piece?
Yeah, you could do 3 each if you want.
Okay.
Well, Punk and Drublick would go with me for sure. That's one of my all-time favorites, of course.
Absolutely.
And I'd probably take something Flogging Molly, I think would be my
okay, that's cool. So there's a band that I've liked since like Warped Tour called The Matches. Their sophomore album called Decomposer. I just love it. It has a little bit of everything on it, as far as like the punk genre. Then, like I said, I'm a Green Day guy, so I gotta take Dookie. That one's front to back. Just there's not a song that's not good. And Process of Belief by Bad Religion would probably be my third one. Another one that, in my opinion, that's just like from beginning to end, like it just feels great.
Good. I'd probably do, I'm a big jazz guy. I'd probably do A Love Supreme by John Coltrane. If I was going to have an album, that one's always a good one to go all the way through. I'd probably do, as far as the punk rock stuff, I'd probably do a NoFX album, and I'd probably do Punk and Drublick, just like Tristan had. I remember that was a huge impact on me, even become like a guitar player. And then if I had to go to a third album, I'd probably pick like some to really mix it up. I'd probably do like some classical music, like Claude Debussy or something. I just got to have like that mix of here and there and everywhere to be able to kind of keep myself sane. So I don't like try to listen, go into one genre specific, especially on desert island.
Yeah, that's true.
John, how about yourself? John, what would you pick? I think I know what you would pick, John.
See, first of all, I love the matches. Shout out! I actually took them in the Epitaph draft yesterday, and I don't think Matt and Lewis even knew who I was talking about. I took Yvonne Dahl Killed the Locals, which I think is an awesome record.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I take Dookie, Pump Up the Volume, and maybe Americana. Those might be my 3 favorite albums. But Matt, I know you're gonna take some weird stuff.
So I would definitely take probably Coulter Wall, Imaginary Appalachia. Definitely Coulter Wall I would take. I'm going to take Rancid, Life Won't Wait, and probably Clams Casino I would take as well.
All right. Yeah, not surprising. I don't know 2 of those. But so guys, another one that we had, go-to snacks. I want to hear from you guys. Like you're on the run or you're packing, for school lunch or something. What is your go-to snack?
Man, I think we're going to have a couple answers here because we got maybe what me and Tyler might snap on, but our bodybuilder over here got like a whole
Polar and ice.
yeah.
Lately, it's been rice cakes and peanut butter. Lately, that's what's been.
Oh
okay.
man.
Oh, man.
Oh man, I really like the spicy wasabi nuts. Those are great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm kind of like a meat eater down here in Texas. I'll go get like any variety of beef jerky to eat on too. So it's super cool.
Nice.
All right. So going with snacks, down in Texas, what is the best barbecue? If I came down to Texas, what barbecue place would you be like, hey, Matt, John, you got to come here and get the barbecue?
Oh, that's a real tough one.
Yeah, that's we get a lot of trouble.
Down here in South Texas.
Yeah, so many good places. There's a place in Austin that's pretty famous. If you're down for like the Austin thing of standing in lines, there's Franklin's Barbecue,
The Blacks.
the Blacks Barbecue. There's there's a barbecue chain here. What's that called? Gas station.
Rudy's.
Oh,
Rudy's. Yeah, Rudy's is a barbecue chain that's within Texas. We got a local place here, Miller's, that I really like here. It's kind of closer to my house, but yeah, there's such a high bar in Texas, so I mean, you really kind of.
So I'm gonna go ahead and say I would invite you to our bassist Zoe's house. It's like once or twice a week, and
That's great. That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, the only caveat though is he usually doesn't start barbecuing until like 2 in the morning.
There's that.
Yeah.
He works for the TV station, which is why he's not one of the TV stations, which is why he's not here with us right now. So he doesn't get off until later.
All right, John, you have any questions off of Instagram that anyone else wants?
Oh yeah, let me pull them up. But we got quite a few questions, guys, sent in. Like I said, there were several about the band name. But some cool ones. Favorite venue you guys performed at so far?
Okay.
There's been a few.
Locally, we really like the House of Rock. That's like the pinnacle level venue that, for what we're doing, most definitely. How's that for me?
Well, we have to give a shout out to the venue who we walked in one time and I just said, hey, we have a new punk band that we just put together a month or 2 ago, and we want to play a show. Will you have us? And they said yes right away. So we're going to give a shout out to the Black Monk Tavern because
Awesome.
without them, they gave us our start. We were real fresh. We had barely 8, 9 songs, and we barely knew them, and they gave us a go anyway and let us go play. So definitely a shout out to those guys.
So let me ask you this, because it's been a long time since I've played in a band, but it always used to be with the new bands. If you wanted to play somewhere, you had to sell like 25 or 50 tickets. Otherwise, you weren't on the bill. Is that still something that happens nowadays?
That happens a bit. Like, it depends where you go and what markets you play in. But yeah, that can be definitely, especially in these, if you're a new face, if you haven't played in these places before, they can put that on you too. That I think the industry's trying to move away from the whole pay to play mentality. Now that is different everywhere we go. We did a show recently in Dallas where they gave us an expectation of ticket sales, but I think that really kind of exists in any context. So
Yeah.
But yeah, there's some places that we hit, like when we started thinking about those bigger metropolitan markets that kind of have some of those ideals still kicking. And there's probably a lot of competition there, and they probably have their reasoning and whatnot. They're probably trying to weed through a lot of bands, but yeah, that could be kind of a thing to have to deal with.
I'm glad to hear that isn't the norm anymore, because I hated that. It made playing shows not as fun,
I used to walk around the mall trying to sell tickets.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, we typically try to shy away from those gigs anyway. We've all been playing music long enough now to where, like, we're not going to pay anybody to go play. Like, if you want us to come play your venue, cool.
Yeah.
If you want to pay us to come play your venue, even better. But we're not going to pay you to play your venue. You know what I mean? We don't take those gigs.
Exactly. All right. I got two. I think these are good questions, but I'm going to lump them in together because they're kind of similar. If you could pick one artist or band to tour with, who would it be? And also one artist or band to collaborate with. If it's different, who would it be?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Would we go like similar music or the same? Like in our genre? I'd be kind of like that.
Yeah, it is a tough one.
I would like to tour with the Interrupters.
I was going to say that Interrupters. I know they're just about to go on tour with a new album. That's so funny you said that.
In our wheelhouse, and like can reach a kind of different market a little bit too, and they just seem fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and if we were going to collaborate, I think it would be cool to collaborate with one of those old, more not more ska influenced, but one of those punk bands with horns. So we can throw some horns into one of our songs. That would be super cool.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I would love to hear that personally.
Yeah, like maybe like a Streetlight Manifesto or like a Voodoo Glow Skulls with the super cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah.
All right. So our last Instagram question is from, a friend of all of ours, Mr. Dave Strong. He wants to know if you guys would ever be into the idea of a split or show together at some point. Dave's super cool guy. I don't know if you guys have been talking back and forth, but what do you think about a possible collaboration down the road with Mr. Dave Strong?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so we have chatted with Dave a little bit, and actually, I'm not going to say that we're in the works of making a plan, but we're in the works of having the talks of actually coming up to you guys. I know we talked about it a little bit, coming up to your neck of the woods and maybe stringing something together with Dave. Also with Lame Ass Dads, and maybe doing a few dates. Maybe as specifically as October. So we'll see if we work that out.
That would be something.
We would, that would be amazing. If you guys are in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, that would be sick. A lot of cool venues up here. Lots of venues starting to pop up again. So if that's something you're doing, hit us up. We'll do whatever help we can to move that along. That'd be freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's how it would be. Yeah.
All right.
But yes, Dave, also a collaboration. Let's keep talking about that. That would be rad.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, and we're in the process of launching our cassette. So if that does happen, or you guys want to put it out, hit me up. We'll be proud to do that for some blind band reviews alumni. That would be pretty sweet. Matt, I don't know if I think you had another question, and then we could let the guys say what they want at the end.
Yeah, so I guess the last question would be, off of season 1, besides yourself, was there a band that stood out that you guys kind of, started to like, or, you thought, wow, these guys could win it? Besides yourself in season 1, was there any band that stood out to you guys?
There's a lot to choose from, but I think we already were talking about them. I think it was Dave Strong and Lame Ass Dads. Really, though, we were kind of biting our nails, thinking like, okay, and even our students were like, oh man, those are cool people, like, because we're showing them y'all's videos and everything, and those are that made me at least.
Yeah.
I downloaded the full length from Lame Ass Dads, and I listened to it front to back many times. So those guys are awesome.
Yeah, that's great to hear. They are.
And you guys also mentioned a band, Save Our Ships. I've really gotten into those guys too. I think I've listened to the single. Like, it's been one of those songs where I literally play like the single over and over again and just listen to the one song. This Is It, I think it's called. Really like that song. Really like that band.
Yeah, another super cool guys. Yeah, they send us like a sticker pack and everything. Yeah, awesome guys. But yeah, is there anything else you guys want to put out there? Anything else you guys want to say to all the Left-Handed Knives fans out there? This is your platform. Let's hear it.
First off, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I was going to say to you. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, thank you a lot. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this interview without the fans that we had previously and have gained through this, and hopefully will still continue to grow. And yeah, I mean, we're just overwhelmed with excitement about what we're doing and the future that Left-Handed Knives has potentially.
And thank you guys too, man. This whole show you got is awesome, man.
Thanks.
I'm really stoked about this.
Our playlists are super full of punk rock radar.
Yeah.
And I do want to mention real quick too that speaking of like this whole community building thing, we are very much about like, let's help each other out and let's grow the scene. This compilation, this Punk Against Putin, this is just a start for us. And it's not the first thing we've done. We've only been together about a year and a half, 18 months.
Yeah, 18
and
months.
we've already had several projects like this. We are very much about, if you want to come to Corpus, we will hook you up with, everything that we can. We can get you gigs. We can find you places to stay. If people want to be involved in our next Punk Against Putin, there is going to be a Punk Against Putin #2. We have not decided what scope yet, but we definitely want to start feeling out who's really on board and who really wants to be a part of that so that we can already start making plans for our second Punk Against Putin, and hopefully even take at least, somewhat take the whole thing on the road and maybe go visit, different places where people are involved with the compilation. So we are very much about community building. And if you're a band out there that's watching this right now and you want to, make some connections and you guys want to work together to build something bigger than our individual parts, then please, lefthandedknives.com, go there, get a hold of us, and let's make stuff happen.
That's so rad. Yeah. And I'll put that little speech there in my reels too, so all the bands can see it. Cause I think it's awesome what you guys are doing personally. Like, it's when you're like in a new band, you're starting to like find your footing. You're starting to like branch out a little bit. Sometimes it's hard to like get out of the local scene. So I think it's awesome when like other, bands from other, geographically different places are willing to like, hey, you come here, we'll help you, and then, return the favor later on. So it's awesome. That's part of the reason why we're doing this, to like meet new bands, give exposure, and guys, you meet each other and then you form friendships, and then who knows, shows, comps down the road. It's just such a cool thing to see. So we were really happy to have you guys on, and then have such a band with such cool ethos to win it. It's just rad. It just makes everything worth it. So, we appreciate you guys coming on the show, sharing everything with us, and we are 100% behind all your projects. We'll back them 100%. So that's it.
Yeah.
Matt, anything else you want to say?
No, just thank you for making great music. It's refreshing to see there's still punk bands out there doing it the right way, and it's something to look forward to when a new song or album comes out from you guys. So I'm really excited to see what else you have in store for us.
All right, guys.
Cool. Yeah.
Yep. And that was Left-Handed Knives, guys. And Jarrett from Bowling for Soup told me that he thinks they are rad. I think they're rad. Matt does. So go check them out. I'll have all the links down below. Super cool guys, as you could tell. Go check out Rock Against Putin. Pick up your tickets. Pick up the comp. And reach out to these guys if you're ever going to be in Corpus Christi. You can't have a cooler bunch of guys. Go check them out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all take care. Rock on.
All right.